The moment John Kennedy stepped off the bus and into the crisp autumn air, his heart stopped. There, huddled against the brick wall of the old community center where they'd once played as kids, was a face he hadn't seen in decades, his childhood best friend, Michael. The man's weathered skin, tangled gray beard, and tattered coat barely hinted at the lively boy who'd once raced him through the streets, dreaming of a future filled with laughter and promise. John's breath caught in his throat as he realized Michael was homeless, a stark contrast to the life John had built as a successful lawyer. The shock rooted him to the spot, memories flooding back of shared secrets, scraped knees, and the unbreakable bond they'd forged under the sprawling oak tree in their neighborhood park. John approached cautiously, his polished shoes clicking against the pavement, a stark reminder of the worlds that now separated them. "Mike," he whispered, his voice trembling with disbelief. Michael's bloodshot eyes lifted, squinting against the sunlight, and for a moment, recognition flickered. "Johnny," he rasped, his voice hoarse from disuse. They embraced, a clumsy collision of past and present, and John felt the weight of years dissolve into tears. Michael explained through choked sobs how life had unraveled, lost jobs, a failed marriage, and a spiral into addiction that stole his home and dignity. John listened, his chest tightening with guilt for drifting apart, for not knowing the depths of his friend's struggle. The community center, now a shelter, had become Michael's refuge, but it offered little more than a cot and a meal. Determined to help, John vowed to turn things around. He invited Michael to stay with him temporarily, offering a warm bed and a chance to reconnect. The first night was awkward. Michael, unused to luxury, sat stiffly on the plush sofa, clutching a mug of coffee as if it might vanish. John cooked dinner, their old banter resurfacing in fits and starts, but the shadow of Michael's past loomed large. The next day, John used his legal connections to secure a job interview for Michael at a local warehouse, a modest start but a lifeline. Yet, the challenge was immense. Michael's confidence was shattered, and his resume was a patchwork of gaps. John coached him tirelessly, practicing interview questions late into the night, his own exhaustion masked by hope. The job interview day arrived, and John drove Michael, offering words of encouragement. Michael emerged from the session with a tentative smile, but the waiting was agonizing. John's phone buzzed that afternoon with the news: Michael had been hired. Relief flooded through them both, but the victory was short-lived. That evening, as they celebrated with takeout, Michael confessed his fear of relapsing, a demon he'd battled for years. John, drawing on his own resilience from tough courtroom battles, promised to stand by him, suggesting therapy and support groups. They enrolled together, John attending as a steadfast ally, learning the raw reality of addiction's grip. The turning point came unexpectedly. One morning, while sorting through old boxes in the attic to find mementos for Michael, John uncovered a dusty journal. Inside were their childhood dreams, plans to start a business, sketches of inventions, and a pact to always lift each other up. Inspired, John proposed they revive an old idea, a small repair shop for electronics, leveraging Michael's knack for fixing things. With John's savings and Michael's skills, they secured a tiny storefront. The work was grueling. Long hours, tight budgets, and skeptical customers, but their partnership grew stronger. Michael's hands, once idle, found purpose, and his confidence bloomed with each repaired device. Then came the shock of John's life. A week before the shop's grand opening, a local news crew arrived, drawn by a tip about their inspiring story. As cameras rolled, a wealthy businessman from their past stepped forward. He'd been a mentor to them as boys and had followed their journey. Moved by their resilience, he offered a substantial investment to expand the shop, turning it into a community hub for job training. The revelation left John speechless, but it was Michael's tearful gratitude that sealed the moment. The grand opening drew a crowd, celebrating not just a business but a bond reborn. By the end, the shop thrived, and Michael stood tall, a mentor to others facing homelessness. John realized the true wealth lay in their friendship, a testament to the power of compassion and second chances. As they locked up one evening, Michael turned to John and said, "We made it, Johnny, together." The inspiring message lingered. No matter how far life pulls you apart, the choice to reach back can transform both the giver and the receiver, proving that hope, when shared, can rebuild even the most broken lives.